News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
News Talk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Authorities investigating a shooting near Turah. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. Congratulations, you made it. It's Friday, July 18th, 2014. Boy, you would think that there was a fire right across the street, but the fires that are sending all the smoke our way are in Washington State, some are in Oregon, and some are in Canada. So we're just getting the benefit of all their smoke here in our valley. Right now we do have smoke. If it wasn't for that, it'd be a beautiful clear day. It's 57 degrees in Missoula. Our newscast sponsored by Dig It Excavating. They bring 30 years of excellence to your job. Call 214-4292. At about 10:30 Wednesday night, passers-by saw a man lying in the road on Interstate 90 not far from Turah. Public Information Officer Paige Pavillon with the Missoula County Sheriff's Office has more.
Passers-by saw a man laying in the road on I-90 near mile marker 117 and called 911. The man was found to be a victim of at least one gunshot wound. He was taken to a local hospital and his family was notified. His condition, name, and age are not being released at this time.
Pavillon says the County Sheriff's Office is still investigating. No other information is being released at this point. A 26-year-old Missoula man died after his vehicle hit a guardrail on a one-lane bridge and landed on its side in an irrigation ditch south of Frenchtown. Montana Highway Patrol Trooper Jake Parks says the accident occurred just before midnight.
The vehicle was eastbound on Lacoste, and it left the right side of the roadway and impacted a bridge guardrail, and then overturned into the irrigation ditch.
Missoula County Sheriff's Lieutenant Jeremy Meter said the guardrail went through the windshield and struck Derek Franchuk in the head, killing him. Meter told the Missoulian that Franchuk's car teetered on the bridge before falling into the water. Meter says Franchuk was removed from the vehicle shortly after 1:30 a.m., and he said it took 3 tow trucks and a crane to remove the car from that irrigation ditch. Montana's Attorney General is asking a federal court to uphold Montana's constitutional same-sex marriage ban in response to a lawsuit that seeks to overturn it. Republican Attorney General Tim Fox said in documents filed yesterday with the U.S. District Court in Great Falls that the people of Montana spoke when they passed the ban in 2004. 4 same-sex couples filed a lawsuit in May challenging the ban. They allege it denies those couples the freedom and dignity afforded to other Montanans. They also say it robs them of the legal protections and benefits that come with marriage. 2 separate wildfires were discovered in the 9 Mile area west of Missoula and near Clinton east of Missoula on Thursday. Lolo National Forest spokesman Boyd Hartwig says the fire in the 9 Mile area was lightning caused.
It looks like it's a lightning holdover ignition. It's about 3 miles northwest of the Stark Lookout, which is kind of to the west of the main 9 Mile drainage up there. They've had a couple helicopters on it today. There's a 20-person crew up there working it. They're going to stay there tonight.
Hardwick says a potentially much more serious fire broke out east of Missoula near Clinton, just off I-90.
We did have another fire out by Clinton that was not on Forest Service land, but it was Forest Service jurisdiction, and that was in the Shorts Creek area. And close to structures in Missoula, rural firefighters and Lolo firefighters were able to get to that one and contain that one before it got big, and that could have been a difficult fire.
The fire near Clinton was estimated to be about 3 to 4 acres in size. 2 juveniles have been cited for starting that fire. Montana wildlife officials say they're aiming to come up with a strategy to manage bison in the state by 2015. Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Chief of Staff Mike Valesky says a draft plan will be out later this year, followed by a final document by this time next year. An advisory committee met in Billings this week to make management suggestions. The plan's been in the works since 2010, but the process has faced repeated delays over concerns from the livestock industry about bison competing with cattle. The advisory committee has been discussing alternatives for creating new wild herds outside Yellowstone Park. Those range from a pilot project of about 100 bison on public land to a 1,000-animal herd on tribal or private land. A former provost at Montana State University Northern has denied allegations that she sexually harassed a dean who filed a complaint with the Montana Human Rights Bureau. Rosalind Templeton testified earlier this week in Helena before a state hearings officer. Northern Administrator Randy Bachmeyer filed a complaint in May of last year, alleging Templeton touched him inappropriately over a 3-year period and that the university retaliated against him for filing the complaint. Bachmeyer and other Northern employees testified last month in Havre, but there was not enough time for Templeton to testify. Templeton said she only recalled touching Bachmeyer twice, did not recall him telling her to stop touching him, and was shocked when he filed his complaint. Hearings officer Terry Spear is expected to make his decision later on this year. The city of Missoula is collaborating now with Apple Valley, California, and that both cities are attempting to purchase their municipal water systems from Carlisle Infrastructure Partners. Mayor John Engen says the representatives from Apple Valley spent all day Monday in Missoula, and their primary concern with their water company was a steep increase in rates to consumers.
Apple Valley is experiencing requests for rate increases from Carlisle to the tune of 35.1% over the next 3 years.
Engen says, for example, Apple Valley's town manager's own water bill has increased dramatically, which is one thing that led to the town's effort to acquire their own system.
The town manager of Apple Valley, Frank Robinson, a great guy, great public servant, his water bill for the last 2 months, residential water bill in Apple Valley for the last 2 months has exceeded $600.
Missoula's lawsuit to condemn the system, thus forcing Carlisle to sell, is scheduled for trial in March of 2015. Officials with First Interstate Bank System plan to close 8 Mountain West Bank branches in Montana when the companies complete their merger in October. Several are in Missoula. First Interstate announced it will close all 3 Mountain West branches in Missoula, 1 of 2 in Great Falls, along with branches in Bozeman, Whitefish, and Kalispell. FIB plans to relocate Mountain West's main branch in Helena to its nearby retail banking center and drive-up facility and close its branch in downtown Helena. In regulatory language, the closures of the downtown Helena branch, as well as those in Great Falls, Bozeman, Kalispell, and Whitefish, are called consolidations, which refers to the closure of an acquired bank in the same neighborhood as an existing First Interstate Bank branch. First Interstate spokeswoman Cynthia Lyle says the closed Mountain West buildings eventually will be sold. A new federal earthquake map dials up the shaking hazard just a bit for about 1/3 of the United States and lowers it for 1/10 of the nation. U.S. Geological Survey updated yesterday its national seismic hazard maps for the first time since 2008. Most of the changes are slight. Project Chief Mark Peterson said parts of Washington, Oregon, Utah, Oklahoma, Colorado, Wyoming, and Tennessee moved into the top 2 hazard zones. Parts of 16 states have the highest risk for earthquakes. That's Alaska, Hawaii, California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Illinois, Kentucky, South Carolina, and Montana. Cue the Carole King song, I Feel the Earth Move Under My Feet. News Talk time is 6:10.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Look for a mix of sun and smoke today with our temperatures topping out in the upper 80s. Winds will be breezy with wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. Saturday looks decent. Highs will be a touch cooler as we stay in the mid 80s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.